let's talk about how to build a side business of your very own. Now, I know if you've never had a side business or a business your own, it may seem overwhelming, but the good news I'm here to tell you, it's easier than you think. And these days, there's more opportunity than there's ever been. I've had my own business since my first one at age 14, where I was chopping cordwood and selling it on the side. I've had franchises. I've had my own law firm. I now have a business called the Overages business. I've had lots of businesses, and I can tell you that the difference between the person who has the successful side business did it. They put themselves out there and they started trying it. So the first thing I want to tell you is the most important thing is your mindset. And your mindset needs to be, I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit the necessary time. I'm going to commit the necessary resources. I'm going to do whatever I need to be successful. Think about being a woodpecker. Now, woodpeckers bop, 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 into hardwood with its head, bop, 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 bop. But that woodpecker eventually pecks enough that it gets a little worm or whatever thing it's after inside the tree, and it gets a good meal out of it. I think that's a good model for being a business owner or entrepreneur, that you need to be a woodpecker. Keep pecking away at it. Also know that this is not just for people born with a silver spoon. Matter of fact, it's probably not for people born with a silver spoon. Owning your own business is for someone who's determined and really wants to be more successful in life. And it is available for everybody. I know lots of successful business owners. My entire neighborhood where I live is full of successful business owners. And these are people who have reached the pinnacle of success. And when I think about them and I look at them, I realize, these are all kinds of people. They're skinny ones, they're fat ones, they're black ones, they're white ones, they're bald ones, they're hairy ones, they're women, they're men, they're Asian, they're white, they're Hispanic, they're black, everything in between. What ties them together is they had the courage to try. They saw something, they thought, I could provide that service. They thought of an idea that I could invent that. And then they went and did it. And they realized that it's a learning process along the way. You're never going to know everything you need to know on the first day that you open your business, but very quickly you can and will get up to speed. And also understand that the people that you think might laugh at you if you're not successful or might admire you if you are successful probably will mostly not know what the heck you're doing. We think that people pay a lot of attention to us and like, oh, I'm watching and he's successful, that's great. If you're successful, they're probably just envious. If you're not successful, they might have some little snide remark in their brain like, oh, I knew Mr. Big Pants couldn't do it. But in reality, they're just tired and involved with their own lives to bother too much with yours and what's going on with you. So when you do this, you don't do this because you want someone else to admire you. You don't do this because you want someone else to be jealous of you. You don't do it because you want to prove anything to anybody else. You do it for yourself. And these days, there are so many amazing opportunities. So let me talk about some of them. There's all the online businesses. There's print-on-demand services. There's selling books. There's selling things on Amazon, selling things on eBay, selling things on Etsy. It's a whole class of that. There are all kinds of great educational materials on each of those things. And if it appeals to you to work quietly from home, maybe in your spare time, to not interact with people ever for your business or very rarely, then I think those are good choices. And you can make great money with them. People do really well with those businesses. There are also businesses that are more out in the real world. What are those? That's things like renting out a property on short-term rental, like Airbnb or VRBO. There's renting cars on Turo. There are lots of people that are having fun doing that. What do? They buy cars. They offer them to rent on Turo. And oftentimes they're interesting cars that you can't necessarily get in like a Hertz or other big name. I'm out here today filming in a place where there's a lot of snow out. And I decided to have some fun and rent with Turo. I'd seen a truck I thought was pretty cool. I was like, I wonder what those are like. I'd like to drive one of those. And that truck was a Ford Raptor. You may have seen them. They're super cool. Big old tires and they're big and wide and they make grumbly noises from their engine. Like, it's awesome. Really fun. So I decided to rent this Ford Raptor, and it's as fun as I thought it would be. So I get to drive around this car they run about $80,000 to $130,000 depending which model you get. And so I'm driving around this $80,000 truck, having a great time with it, and I rented it from a guy that bought the truck to put it out on Turo. So it's fun for everybody. He has a whole fleet of trucks. I was talking to him a little bit. He's got like a dozen of these things. He said he rents them all year round. That's how he makes his living. He said, I love having, access to all the vehicles. And he said, when I think something's cool, I buy one and I rent it out. I was like, that's pretty cool. And that's an example of something that's pretty easy and lightweight that you can do that doesn't take a lot of imagination. It's already a preset system and that you could just start doing. And the most important thing is the doing. That's where people really miss it. They just don't get out there and start doing it. And I started early on. My first sort of big successful business was a painting franchise called College Pro Painters that I bought. And I founded a franchise, did well with it. I bought a second franchise and did well with it. Managed to pay for college with it, which was pretty good. Had a great experience, learned a lot. Now, the painting business wasn't the one that I wanted to be in for my lifetime, so I left that behind when I left college. But what a great experience that was to run a business. I had payroll, I had insurance, I had 13 employees full time. I was selling painting jobs. I learned how to sell. You can take, all that experience and roll it over into your next thing. And just the biggest thing, do not be afraid. Everything is there that you need to learn. All the information is there that you need in order to do a business. I've done house flipping. I've been an owner of apartment buildings. I've been owner of office buildings. I'm still an owner of office buildings today and commercial properties. I've owned vacation rentals. And each of those, I started out by learning from someone who knew. I found myself a mentor in each of those. Learned from someone who knew, included them on my first deals so they would get some financial benefit from it, and they would pay attention because they're having a financial benefit. So I found mentors, and then I learned and I accepted that I would make mistakes and it wouldn't be perfect from the start. There have been properties that I bought that I overpaid for and I took a loss on them. I thought, okay, what did I learn from that? Well, I learned don't get overly emotional at a sale, because you'll bid too much and then there's no money in it and then you lose your whole purpose. You want to go out and start trying, and most businesses can be successful with common sense and sort of a careful approach. You can't be overly careful. You have to take some risks, but just go out and do. Do not be a wisherpreneur, be an entrepreneur. Business I'm doing today is called Overages. That's where we help people that have lost a property at a tax sale or a mortgage foreclosure sale get back big slugs of money to help them get restarted in life. If you want to know more about that business, there's a video. You can see the link up there. It's to Intro to the Overages business. That's good. You could go check that out. Definitely look online for anything that you're interested in and attend the webinars. And if it looks like it makes sense, then buy whatever course they're selling or service they're selling and get started on it. The thing is that in the getting started is when your brain really starts working, you start learning, and then that's how you're going to grow. If you don't do anything different, then you're not going to get any different results. So that is definitely a way you're going to grow. And pick a business where you can get in without a lot of upfront cash. For me, like with the Overages business, it's a service business. Doesn't take $2,000. You get the whole business started. It's pretty easy. Don't do something where you have to buy $30,000 worth of inventory from China and hope you can sell it. Do something lighter weight. Do something where you're selling a print-on-demand service, or something where you're providing a service. Like I think a big opportunity right now is in AI training, meaning you learn enough about AI to learn how other people could benefit, and now then sell training, especially to businesses, about how they can use AI to do better in their own business. There are people using AI these days to write books. There are people using AI to write ads. There are people using AI to create whole videos and whole commercials that you can barely tell from one that was professionally produced. So AI is huge. It's a big thing that everybody's talking about, and it's an opportunity for you to step into being a leader of a field that's really very little known to the users that will benefit from it, which are small business owners primarily. So biggest thing I want to tell you is have the courage to try. Understand it probably won't work the way that you wanted to the first time, but as you refine and you iterate, you put it out there, you test it, you get market feedback, you will get it to work. And as long as you keep an open mind and keep chipping away, like that little woodpecker, you can peck on that tree enough till you get your worm out of the tree and get your meal. It is there for you. I promise. Business owners are not born on Mars. They're not completely different from you. You can do this too, but you have to take the first step and have the courage to step out and do it. So hope this is helpful for you today. If you want more like this, just click on the like and subscribe. Leave any comments down below. I'll take those into consideration. I appreciate you. I thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.